She-Hulk episode 6, the first 3 episodes of Andor, and plot details for the X-Men reboot. We're talking all this and more on this week's show. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Anthony.
And welcome to That Superhero Thing.
Let's do it.
Can I just start by saying, I feel like all I've done this week is watch TV and movies, because there's been so much to watch.
Mate, honestly.
3 episodes of Andor.
Yeah.
1 She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Friggin' Fan4 at the start of the week that we had to watch for the Patreon.
Which was a shit show.
That was a shit show.
Spoilers.
Even, do you know what? Yeah, spoilers. Even stuff that we've not been able to do on the show, like House of the Dragon. I'm catching up on that.
Yeah.
You're doing Rings of Power. Are you still doing that?
I haven't, but I am.
Okay, you go into it.
It's not that I've stopped. I just haven't had time.
It's just so much. There's just so much to watch.
Also, right,
What?
I've become obsessed with Below Deck.
So is my wife.
This is a bit of an issue for me at the minute, and I cannot stop watching it. It's so ridiculous, but it's fucking brilliant.
Is it?
Yeah, I just love the drama.
I don't think I can bring
I'm
myself
like,
to watch it.
Honestly, everyone needs to grow up. That's the funny part about
Yeah.
it. But I just love it. It's just...
I don't think I can. I'm being more intellectual. I've started watching The Crown on Netflix.
Okay, yeah.
Have you watched that?
I love The Crown.
I've only just started it. I'm finding it quite confusing trying to watch it at the same time as Game of Thrones because they're like scarily similar.
I was about to say, at the same time as checking in on the family, like seeing where they're up to now.
No.
What, Charles is king?
It's just
spoilers.
It's just weird watching it because they're so like eerily similar to each other.
Did you see the meme? And obviously, respect to the Queen. But have you seen the thing where it talks about the producers of The Crown shitting themselves because season 9 they're going to have to pay all these extras for the queue?
No.
That made me fucking hell.
No, that's amazing.
That was so funny.
Boss. Anyway, so let's talk about what we can actually fit into this week's show. So we're talking all the biggest comic book movie news for the week. We're talking She-Hulk, Andor, episodes 1 to 3, and then we're listening to your thoughts and theories in Podfans Assemble at the end of the show. We've got timestamps in the description for you too, in case you want to skip ahead to either of the reviews or to Podfans Assemble if you want to do that as well. Don't forget, if you enjoy the show, please make sure to follow us on your favourite podcast platform and leave us a rating or review. The more subs and reviews we get, the higher we rank in the podcast charts, and the more people will get to find the show. Before we start on the news, a little bit of an update on TST news. We've already said that the Discord is going to be open for everybody soon. We were going to go 1st of October, but we've got a new episode coming out on the 30th of September, so we should do it a day early and just launch it on the 30th of September.
Well.
There you go. So on next week's show, which will have all the new logos and all the new branding, because we're launching that too.
Oh, I'm so excited.
There will be a link in the description, and you will be able to get into the Discord, and then you can chat to us and all the other listeners. Anyway, news then. I'm going to start with the best news of the week.
Go on.
A Constantine sequel is officially
Oh my God.
on its way.
Yes.
I am so excited for this.
So excited as well.
I've never been this excited for Warner Brothers news. I take everything bad I've ever said against Warner Brothers back. So Deadline's reporting that the film is in early development over at WB. Keanu is back along with the original director Francis Lawrence and new scriptwriter Akiva Goldsman, who wrote the screenplay for I Am Legend, which was also directed by Francis Lawrence. So they've worked together before.
Okay.
I wasn't a massive fan of I Am Legend.
No, I wasn't.
But hopefully
I watched the Omega
better.
Man in GCSE.
I've never seen the Omega Man. I've read the original I Am Legend book, though.
Why did I watch the Omega Man?
I don't know.
GCSE English.
That's weird.
Why would that be a
Charlton
thing?
Heston?
Where they all glowy eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely different story in the Omega Man and the original I Am Legend to what there was in the book. Much better. We won't spoil it for you. Go and read the book. It's only a short story.
I've never read the book.
It's about 150 pages. It's really short. It's really, really good, though. The actual title of the film, I Am Legend, makes complete sense. It never really made sense from the Will Smith movie. Just because Will Smith thinks he's a legend, but you know what I mean? Other than that. Back to Constantine, anyway. So there's no release date yet.
Are we going to have, what's his name? The devil?
I don't
Lucifer?
know. No, you beat me to it. No additional
my
casting
fave.
info yet.
Oh, okay.
So literally it's just Keanu at this stage. Hopefully they'll get some of them back,
I
like
hope they get
Rachel
them back.
Weisz and Tilda Swinton. She was brilliant.
She was. As Gabriel, she was amazing.
I can't remember. Do you know she's 61?
Shut up.
I mean, that's what the news said, because she queued up to see the Queen and it said Tilda Swinton, 61. Unless it's a different Tilda Swinton who queued up to see the Queen. But I doubt it. I keep meaning to tell you this. We go off on one here on TST, clearly. You know, a couple of weeks ago in She-Hulk, the Donny Blaze's manager, who you said looked like Morgan Freeman from Wish,
yeah,
he's 104.
No.
That actor is 104.
No.
He's 100. I'll say it again. He's 104. Isn't that mental? What? I'll say it again.
100.
100. Just in case you missed it, he's 104 years old. Isn't that really good?
I mean,
It's good, that, isn't it?
to be 104.
He only started
and
acting
that
in his
active.
70s. Never too late. You'll get your big break one day, aren't you? Not this.
I'll probably get hit by a car the next day.
Anyway, Marvel news, Fantastic Four news. So, following the announcement a couple of weeks ago now that Matt Shakman is going to be directing the reboot, Deadline is now reporting that Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer have been enlisted by Marvel to write it. They are relatively new writers, and I'll be dead honest, there's nothing that you've ever heard of that they've written. But they are really sought after in Hollywood at the moment from a couple of other scripts that they've sold. So, that's going to be a good sign, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Another bit of news for it, though, is Kevin Feige has said that now that they've sorted a director and they've got writers in, now is the only time when he's prepared to start the casting process. So it's got to make you wonder whether all these rumours and these scoops, it's like, oh, this person's in final talks, that person's in final talks.
Yeah.
Have they all just been a load of crap, clickbait, people trying to sound like they know what they're talking about?
Or their own marketing people just trying to PR.
Potentially, yeah.
Could be.
Maybe. That's a good...
Just to
good
get their
thing
names
about
out there.
Yeah. Well, I've got a feeling that we'll probably find out soon now.
Yeah.
If he's saying that we can start talking about casting now, it can't be very far away. Speaking of reboots, X-Men reboot rumours. So, specifically about the plot. So, Screen Geek. I've never heard of Screen Geek.
No,
I'll be really honest, so I'm going to take this with a pinch of salt. So, they're saying that the Joss Whedon and John Cassidy Astonishing X-Men comic series is going to be used as the basis for the plot in the movie. So from what I can gather from it, it's a very, obviously it is a comic book, but it's very comic booky, like really bright, colourful costumes, which is kind of where the MCU is going anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty much a load of aliens trying to destroy the Earth, and one of the main parts of the comic storyline is that there's a cure for being a mutant in it. The roster, so the lineup in that is Cyclops, Emma Frost, Wolverine, Beast, Shadowcat, and Colossus, which I think would be a good roster team up for the movie.
Very heavily male, though. There are no women in there.
Isn't
apart from Emma.
I think Shadowcat's I don't know. I think Shadowcat's a female.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I could be completely wrong. Anyway, I've got a couple of problems with it. Firstly, I think it's a bit too early for a cure to being a mutant if it's the first outing of the X-Men.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't need to put that bit in, but
Yeah.
you can't be bringing in a cure for being a mutant at that stage. No. Also, I'm not convinced anyone's going to go anywhere near anything with Joss Whedon on it.
No.
And it might be a great story, but are you going to do anything with Joss Whedon at the moment? I know he wouldn't necessarily be involved or screenwriter or anything like that, but surely you'd have to give him an executive producer credit. And I don't think they're going to want Joss Whedon's name on it at all. So, yeah, definitely take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Sticking with Marvel, an Iron Man game has been announced. So this is in really early development at the moment, like really early days. It's coming from Marvel Games and Motive Studio, who had a big hand in the new Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Okay.
Came out recently, which was really good. They've said it's going to be a completely original story that will channel the complexity, charisma, and creative genius of Tony Stark, enabling players to feel what it's like to truly play as Iron Man. So it's going to be a single-player, third-person, flying, shooting, action, romp. I couldn't think of another word. It just came into my head. Don't know why I'm thinking of romping. Anyway, I'm proper excited for that. We've not had a good X-Men. We haven't had a good X-Men game, to be fair, but we haven't had a good Iron Man game forever.
No.
I didn't really rate the Avengers game that came out. I didn't like the fighting style.
Do you know what? I've still not played Avengers, and I've still not played Guardians either.
Guardians is good. The Avengers wasn't good at all.
Yeah.
Sticking with Marvel news then. Ms. Marvel Season 2 might have been confirmed. Kinda. So Ms. Marvel was obviously like originally pegged as a limited series, but there's been rumours all week, to be fair, that a second series was in the works. And now one of the directors, Adil El Arbi, has been on Instagram. He's posted a picture of him and Villani, and underneath it says, "Just reminiscing on our time spent in the MCU. Who's ready for season 2?" So that must mean we're getting a season 2, or he's just clickbaiting everybody to get his followers on Instagram up,
or trying to get a following to persuade Phase Drives with Beige.
Yeah, I wonder whether that's got a big part to play in it, because Kevin Feige was like really sympathetic with them both, wasn't he? And sent them a message after Batgirl got cancelled.
Yeah.
So I do wonder whether it was always on the cards, or now that they've not got Batgirl and that's not going to be, a big feature film to sort of slingshot them into a bit more stardom, whether he's like, right, well, let's get you back then. They're not going to
yeah.
use you. Let's get you back, basically.
Yeah.
So that, I can see that. You happy with the season 2? Do you want a Ms. Marvel season 2?
If we get a bit more action, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit slow, wasn't it? But yeah, do you know what? I'm excited for it.
But then we don't know where she's going to end up at the end of the film.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we're not doing the whole.
That could shape how season 2 pans out. So.
Exactly, yeah. It's not just about sort of introducing us to Kamala anymore, is it? It's going to actually take us further in the story.
Yeah, yeah.
Last bit of Marvel news, kinda. New Mutants is going to be available on Disney Plus in the US on the 14th of October. Annie, I can tell you look absolutely buzzing off that.
Oh, because just by chance I watched it a few weeks ago and Jesus
It
Christ.
wasn't. I didn't like it anyway either. To be fair, it's already, like you just said, it's available in the UK already. I think it's available in a few countries, to be fair. But it's only just arriving on Disney Plus 14th of October. Just in time for Halloween and just in time for next month's Into the Podverse, because for Halloween, Andy, you look so happy about this. For Halloween, we will be covering New Mutants on Into the Podverse. So yeah, we'll let you know what date that releases. Do you know what? We might just release it on the 14th of October so that you can watch that and then get straight onto the Podverse.
YOLO.
Let's do that. We're going to wrap up with some DC news. Now, this has really annoyed me. Not that I care that much about DC, but it's pissed me off.
Okay.
You might have not heard this. So, Warner Brothers dropped a new TV spot for Black Adam earlier this week.
Right.
You seen this?
No.
Okay, so it had, like they've done before, it had clips of other DC movies. So it had a clip of, and I mean clips, like 2-second snippets. Man of Steel, Aquaman, Birds of Prey. There's a clip of Harley Quinn in it from Birds of Prey.
Okay.
And it included a few seconds of Justice League 2017, the Joss Whedon version.
Okay, yeah.
Which my understanding is canon. The Snyder cut wasn't canon.
No.
That's right. That's right. Isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So there's been a massive kickoff. So load of Snyder fans have basically kicked off saying it's not canon. 2017 version shouldn't be canon. What are you doing? It's going to bomb, all that sort of stuff. I'll give you examples, right? So I won't name names. A couple of people on Twitter. One saying, this is reason enough for me not to watch Black Adam, because it's saying that 2017 Justice League's canon. Then somebody else has said, Sir, at The Rock, please don't leave the fans hanging. Please state clearly whether your film Black Adam considers Snyder's Justice League as canon or the 2017 Justice League movie. You do know nobody likes the reshot 2017 version. It's like, well, it is canon, isn't it? That's it. Yeah. Or is it? So Warner Brothers have now pulled the trailer, re-released it without that footage in it, and The Rock has replied to all these and said, corrected. So what's canon? What's canon? No, you know what? It's not even that. What a weak move by Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Just fucking stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
I know it's shit, but
Well,
what are they doing?
Again, I've seen posts recently where Warner Brothers have said they regret ever letting the Snyder Cut release.
I know. And they've been pushing the 2017 version with like the trailer re-releases over the last 6 months as well.
Yeah.
What? Do you know what? One of the biggest problems is the die-hard Snyder fans. That's one of the biggest problems with Warner Brothers.
Go for it.
It's not canon. That's it. It's not happening.
And let's be honest,
I'd like it to be.
Snyder's version wasn't much better.
I think it was a lot better than the Whedon version.
It just...
It was a lot longer.
Aquaman's fucking song. That's all I'm saying.
Did he sing a song?
Not his song. I mean the song where they all sang on the beach and it was awkward for about 3.5 minutes.
I can't remember.
What the fuck was that for?
I can't remember.
Do you know, are you messing?
No.
Honestly, it was a 3.5. And it was just like, okay, it was nice for about 10 seconds, but we're getting verse fucking 7. We're only 30 minutes into the film and Aquaman's just sat in the water listening to all these blonde women singing to him from the beach.
I need to go back and watch it.
Are you messing?
I don't think I've got it. I think I've got a week.
Mate,
to
watch that again.
It's like 4.5 hours, wasn't it?
It was very unnecessary.
Nah, I'm not watching it again.
So, yeah, I mean, CGI and stuff was improved on certain scenes.
It was better, but it had 4... Yeah, but the thing is, if you try to condense that film down to... We're getting dangerous ground here because we're going to piss off Snyder fans. But if you'd try to condense that film down to 2 hours, 2.5 hours, then it probably wouldn't have been much better than the Whedon version. It's gonna be better if you've got 4 hours of story to play with, isn't it?
I get that, but I mean, there's still the fucking weird dream sequence at the end and bringing back Jared Leto's Joker, which was a terrible move.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of it, and I like where
Joker.
that could have gone, but
it didn't.
No, I know, and that's the thing. So, what's the point? What are you all kicking off for? Because we're never getting a sequel. It's never carrying on.
You say it's not. It might be.
No,
we don't know. There's a rumor that Cavill's going to show up in the post-credit scene of Black Adam.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not. No, I mean, like, I know the canon story, like, it might stay canon and
Yeah.
stuff. But what I'm saying is, there's not going to be a direct sequel to what happened
No.
in that first Justice League. To me, they're scrapping it. That's the way it seems to be coming.
But do you know what? We don't know, because the way that they've just brought Ben Affleck back, there's talk to bring Cavill back, as we just said. You got The Rock saying that he wants this one. It's
Listen,
just
say it's an
bonkers.
opposing universe. Use the ones that you still want to use. Get rid of the ones that were shit, like
Just start
Ezra
again.
Miller, like anyone that's causing you havoc. Get rid of them and then just start again. Start afresh.
Can't wait. We'll go on to Andor in a minute, right? You've just brought up a massive point. Literally, 2 people complain about the fact that there's 2 seconds worth of fucking 2017 Justice League footage in a trailer and they pull it, yet fucking Ezra Miller's running a cult.
And everyone's going.
And he's
Just
still
let
got
him
a
be.
job.
Let him be.
What is going on at
I know.
Warner Brothers?
I know.
Absolutely.
I know. But this is what I
Mental.
mean. So just, just draw a line under it and start fresh.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's just leave it. But stop bowing down to pressure, Warner Brothers. Or bow down to the right bit of pressure, not this. Anyway, that's us for news. So let's do reviews. Should we start with Andor?
No.
No.
Let's start with She-Hulk.
I'm done my notes that way.
That's why I said it.
We're starting with Andor. Right.
Okay.
Andor, episodes 1, 2, 3. No titles. We're just back to
Do you know
Obi-Wan
what?
Kenobi. 1, 2, 3.
So
What?
I loved it.
Did you?
What happened?
I don't know. No, I get it.
There
I
are
get
my
it
2
now.
statements.
I get it
I
now.
loved it. I was drawn in by it, but I haven't got a clue what happened.
No, I get it. It took me a while, but I get it now. Right, so
I get
spoilers.
I get the very basics.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot going on.
there was a lot. happening.
We'll talk about it.
My
a bit.
main thing was that Trevor was in it from EastEnders.
Trevor from EastEnders was in it. We've got to talk about Trevor. We like Trevors. We
Yeah.
like a lot of Trevors.
Yeah.
So, spoilers from the get-go. We're not going to do non-spoilers or anything like that. We'll have a bit of a chat about it and then maybe breeze through the episodes 1, 2,
Yeah.
and 3. So, I think, for a start, well done, Disney, for not releasing this as episode 1 or episode 1 and 2 like they originally did it. They needed to drop this as episode 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Because episode 1 and 2, whilst they were good, were slow. I
Yeah.
get it. It was character development. It was world building. It was really well done. But
Episode 3 gave us the payoff, though.
yeah. If
Totally.
we don't had episode 1 on its own or episode 1 and 2 on their own, which was the original plan, episode 1 and 2 were going to drop first.
Yeah.
I would not have been anywhere near as excited to watch
No.
episode 3.
No.
I was left intrigued at the end of episode 2, but not excited.
However,
Go on.
Disney pissed me off a little bit because I was watching it on Disney Plus. Episode 1 finished.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 2, it then did the recap,
Yeah.
stopped, reloaded, and started episode 3. And I had to jump back and go back to episode 2.
Mine didn't do that.
I was furious.
That's just
Because it started saying previously again, and I was like, oh, maybe it's just restarting the
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
because it's crashed or
I
something.
needed those recaps.
And it started recapping things that had happened in episode 2 that I hadn't yet seen. So it started spoiling it for me instantly because it skipped.
That's
So
shit, isn't it?
yeah.
But do you know what? Normally, when you get recaps, you think, "Well, I don't need this because I've just watched." Especially when
I
you've just
needed
watched
it.
it. I needed it because I need. Not
I was
that
like, well, what's important so that I can
that's
retain it?
Not that
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
remember. I
No.
remembered everything I'd watched, but I was like, I don't know what's gone on. What do I need to remember?
Yeah.
So it really,
Same.
really
It did
helped.
help me as well.
Definitely. But yeah, as we said, it was 2
I
episodes.
only know one name.
Cassian.
Yeah.
We're going to have fun with this one then, aren't we?
And I don't know the planets.
Cassian and Trevor, and his name's not even Trevor. It's like Kravax or something like that. But yeah, 2 episodes of world building, character building, payoff was perfect. Breaking down the episodes then.
So I loved our first robot, R2 Postbox.
R2 Postbox. B.
That's what I'm
something.
gonna call
They all
him.
just keep
That's what I'm going to call him.
I like it.
R2 Postbox.
Go on then. So what did you like about episode 1? You try and explain to me what happened in episode 1. Let's play this game.
Oh no. We will lose a lot of listeners.
We won't. It's good.
Oh no, it's bad. Okay, so we started out on a planet.
Mouthful of tea just nearly went everywhere.
Oh, I'm not going to be able to do it in order either
We
because I
started
watched
on a
all
planet.
3 back to back.
We're not going to go into massive detail about it, right?
No.
So I can't remember the name of the planet. It was called like Morinor or something.
It began with an M. It did begin with an M.
It,
That's all I remember.
it started with BBY5. Did you notice that? It came up when it said what planet they were on. BBY5.
Yeah.
So that's like a timestamp. So it's before the Battle of Yavin, 5 years. So it's like BC. You don't know that, right? So the Battle of Yavin is the Death Star trench run.
The Death Star trench run.
Yeah. So when Luke blows up the Death Star.
Oh yeah.
So this is 5 years before
that.
Yeah. So we're getting quite close now to Star Wars.
Events.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously the events of Rogue One, it's not far off.
Okay.
We know it's only a 24 episode arc, don't we? Anyway,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite early days. But yeah, we started off there. He's looking for his sister. That's all we know.
Yeah.
He's
So
looking
we're
for
getting
his sister.
flashbacks from them being part of the tribe that begins with an N.
Mm-mm.
No, not the tribe, but his species.
No. Canary.
Ah, bollocks.
Close, there's an N in it.
That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. Canary.
So, let's talk about let's talk about, we'll get a story. Let's talk about flashbacks.
I told you it's going to be no
Friggin'
good.
Star Wars love their flashbacks.
Yeah.
But they've done them well.
I was fuming that there was no
fucking flashback the tank in sight. Not one. Thank God for that.
I know, right?
They did this so much. The flashbacks are so much better than Boba Fett. Right. We're going to get the story in a minute.
Yeah.
How can the same studio that produced this produce Boba Fett?
I know.
It was
I genuinely think that they got pissed one night and just wrote out Boba Fett.
I think they gave us the work experience, kid. It was just like, you do that,
The
we're doing this.
Apprentice.
We've been making young Padawan make a show. And then when he finished, it was like, I hear the Sith are recruiting. Go and join them. Warner Brothers have got jobs going.
I was going to say, mate, Jar Jar Binks fucking wrote this, didn't he?
It was just, we're not here to talk. We're not here to talk about Boba Fett.
Yeah,
So
right.
yeah, so episode 1 is he's looking for his sister.
Yeah.
In a brothel, kind of, basically. That's how I saw it. There's a lot of brothels in this as well.
Yeah.
No offer to shine his helmet like in Boba Fett.
I mean,
though.
he's not expecting his sister's done very well if he's looking for her in a brothel.
No, he's not. But so he's after her. He's not. My impression is that he's nothing to do with the Resistance, fighting the Empire, or anything.
No.
He's just got his own mission to find his sister.
Yeah.
He ends up killing 2 guards.
Yeah.
Who go down like a bag of shite, to be fair. He killed one by headbutting him once. But he kills 2 guards, and then he's wanted and he's on the run, and he's trying to escape the planet. That's it, isn't it?
Now, first of all, that whole conversation confused the hell out of me.
What did?
With the guy that didn't die first.
Yeah.
Because suddenly he was like, oh, we can just pretend that blah, blah.
Yeah, because he knew he was trying to put it across that I won't just shop you. I won't just say it was all your fault. He's trying to save himself because he knows basically the only thing Cassian can do now is kill him. Because if Cassian doesn't kill him, then he's going to go and tell them that this guy who looks like Cassian Andor.
And that's what I would have thought if that was his initial response. But at first he was like, you killed him, and then started shouting at him.
I think he just realised where he was going, what was going to
happen.
happen.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he's
himself.
just a bit slow.
Very dark.
It was
just
very dark.
Literally
very
just
dark
executed the guy like there and then. And again, we didn't really. I think that's pretty much what happened in episode 1. That was it. I had no clue what was going on at the end of this.
So we did also then get the conversation with the higher platoon members. I'm not going to be very good with words here.
Yeah.
And you had fucking Brown Nosy.
Yes.
Who's like...
Who looks like Thingy from Game of Thrones. I thought it was...
Do you know who he looks like?
Who?
He looks like Kathy Bates's right-hand guy when he comes into the office. You know, the tall, lanky, pale, black-haired guy. I can't remember his name.
In The Office?
In The
I've
Office.
Never seen it. I've never watched The Office all the way through.
Oh, shit.
He looks like you in What's-His-Face from Misfits.
I'll show you him later.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
from Misfits, who was in the Battle of the Bastards in
yeah.
Game of Thrones. I thought it was him in the first trailer, to be honest. I thought it was actually him.
Honestly, when I show you this guy after the episode...
I know who you mean from The Office.
You?
Really quiet lad.
Yeah.
I know who you mean. Yeah. I know who you mean.
It looks like him.
He's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But I kind of like him.
No.
He's growing on me by the end of episode 3.
No.
In like a I love to hate him way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's a good character. I think he's a really, really good character. But
so basically, he's gone to him and said, two men have been killed. We need to find who did this and blah, blah, blah.
And his boss doesn't give a shit. His boss just can't be arsed with the hassle.
PR.
Exactly. It's a PR nightmare. Let's just say that they got...
Nothing too heroic that'll
basically
flood the papers, but not an unworthy death.
Yeah. But the guy who's customised his work uniform and put orange trunking on it and fucking tailored it, he is like, nah, I'm not letting this go. And he's supposed to just be let...
Just thinking he's like the fucking Jonas brother.
He's such a goon. But he's brilliant. I love to hate him. So that's it, though. That's pretty much it. You meet a couple of cast members. You meet Bix, her name is. So she's the one who is going out with...
The fit one.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And boyfriend Tim, which is a random name.
Scottish one.
Yeah, random name for Star Wars.
I remember Tim.
Bix.
Oh wait, no, there's no point.
Cassian. Tim.
Spoilers.
There's no point in remembering.
I don't need to remember Tim.
Thank God. So episode 2 starts off with the flashback to Canary again. And this is where we, in episode 2, obviously I like the fact that we know it's Cassian.
Yeah.
But it gives us a bit more of an insight into why there's just a load of kids. To be honest, I sort of started putting it together straight away when we saw the mine. You don't know why there's no kid, why it's all kids.
Yeah.
So they tell you later on in the episode. So at the start of it, when they're all heading to that ship, with all the fucking Simpsons on it, because they're all yellow. They were all yellow. They're all yellow. When they're heading to that ship, he sees like a mine, and it's got like all abandoned machinery on it.
Yeah.
And and basically they're the only people on the planet we've seen are kids. So later on, when the goon idiot guy, Cyril his name is, the guy who looks like the guy from The Office, his name's Cyril in this. So when he puts out the sort of like APB on somebody from Canary, the guy who he's trying to pay to get off the planet, Ferrix, he says that on Canary there was a massive mining disaster and everybody on the planet died. So I think what's happened is the Empire have gone to that planet, mined it for all its resources, and then basically just burnt through all the adults there. So it's just kids left, basically, and then they've just buggered off rather than helping anybody or taking them with them.
Okay,
And that it sort of sets the scene for that before clarifying it at the end, basically.
Okay.
So, and then you meet what?
I've just seen one of your notes.
What?
And it just says, he's got an Imperial thing.
He has got an Imperial thing. I don't know what it is. It's a box. It's a box, and it looks like something.
It's just the way it's written down. He's got an Imperial thing.
Speech marks.
Is it the red mechanical box thing?
The red mechanical box that he's trying to sell. Yeah. So we see how he got that, don't we? That's when we meet the red R2 postbox or whatever you want to call him. We see Cassie. You meet Cassian's mum as well, Fiona Shaw, who I can just remember from Super Mario Brothers. The movie.
Yeah, I've seen her in something else as well.
Oh, she's been in loads.
She was a bitch in whatever it was I saw her in. You know, when
she
you
always is a bad guy.
think, oh, you're horrible.
It's weird seeing her as a goodie.
Marcella.
Oh, was she in that?
I think she's the mafia mum.
US listeners have got no idea what Marcella is, but
no,
it's like a
police detective,
gritty BBC police detective drama. You might know what it is.
But yeah, she was. I'm sure she's the mum in that.
Okay.
Of the Irish mafia.
She's not credited in this. Which is weird.
Is she not?
No, not at all. Oh. Even though she's in like 2 of the 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I like that story as well. I like the fact that you got, again, it was all about character building.
Yeah.
To the point where at the end, when it's like she doesn't die at the end of episode 3, but you think she's at risk of being killed by Trevor's team, who we'll talk about. You think she's at risk, but you feel for her.
Yeah.
Or you feel worried for her because it's done such a good job of sort of establishing these characters. My favourite character from the whole series, again, I don't know his name because we don't find out his name, right? The guy who rings the bell at the start of the day and the end of the workday, who loves his fucking job with the hammers. Do you know what I mean?
No.
He's like stood at the top of this. He's stood at the top of this church, like this church spire, and he's just got this massive bell, and he's just like giving it everything. He's like doing all this and like flinging his hammers in the air and all that sort of stuff. And then on the next morning when he like has to ring the bell again to say it's time to start work, he's like properly getting himself psyched up and pumped up. He loves his job, absolutely loves it. So in episode 2 as well is when we meet Trevor.
Yeah.
Not Trevor. He's not Trevor. His name's not Trevor. It's like Kravitz or something like that. US listeners, explain to them who Trevor is, aren't they?
Oh, right. When EastEnders was at its height, our British London soap, Trevor was married to Little Mo Slater.
Yeah. Who they don't know who she is either.
She was the sister of the "You're not my mother." Yes, I am.
They still don't know who that is either.
No, that's big.
In
People
the
know
US?
that is. Yeah.
No, they don't.
Come on, I think they'll know. Anyway,
Okay,
right. So anyway, Trevor used to beat Little Mo.
Trevor used to beat up Little Mo.
And I mean, it was probably the biggest domestic violence storyline that had ever been on any of the British soaps and stuff. Anyway, Little Mo twatted him over the head with an iron.
Yeah.
On New Year's Eve, it was.
Okay.
Thought he was dead. Ran away thinking
was he
she'd
not
killed
dead?
him. No. They went back to dispose of the body.
Yeah.
As you do in a little square in Walford.
Conversation about EastEnders.
And there was just the blood on the floor and he'd gone. The body was gone.
Oh, right.
And then he came back 6 months later, tried to kill Little Mo and ended up dying in a fire instead.
Okay. There you go. It's like you lived it, listeners.
Oh,
you don't need to watch it now.
It was amazing.
Feel bad we didn't do a spoiler warning at the start, but yeah. Anyway.
About EastEnders.
Yeah.
I mean, that happened in like 2002.
Yeah, well, people might still be playing catch up. You never know. So, right, this is where we met Trevor and his team.
Yeah.
And the Blues, they call them. I like the fact that everybody had like a colour about them. Like everybody on the planet, all the workers were in like orange.
Yeah.
And then the Blues rolled up and they're like the Imperials. They're not. They're just the corporation. I think it's called like Primar or Promar or something like that.
Primark.
But Cyril is basically getting them to go. They've discovered obviously who Cassian is, or the fact that he's from Canary.
Yeah.
And they're going down to basically get him. Trevor's men aren't like the most intimidating dudes you've ever seen in your life, are they?
No. Well, I mean, did you see Trevor do his little jog?
No, I didn't see that. That's a perfect example. They're all
he
like
did your typical dad run.
No,
at one point
I didn't notice it.
And I was like, if that was running towards me, I'd just laugh.
You would.
I don't mean it rude to him. He's a very good actor.
He is.
But
it
wasn't particularly intimidating.
They're all like late 40s. They look like they're half a Mars bar away from diabetes. Do you know what I mean? They're not scary in any way, shape, or form. They're not.
Oh, God.
Why would you get them? Why would you cast them for this? Are they
know.
supposed to look like this shit Empire?
I don't know.
They're not great, but
No.
yeah, they weren't scary at all.
No,
I don't get it. But I think that's what I suppose. Maybe Cyril's going to end up joining with the Empire. Maybe this was to try and demonstrate that he wants to be a Imperial general, but he's got Trevor and his mates from Weight Watchers coming to help him instead.
His
then
lads from the football club.
It is just like
right.
it's just like the lads from the pub. One of them is the guy from Kingsman who tries to beat up Eggsy and ends up getting beaten up by Colin Firth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. One of them's him. The guy who stays with Cassian's adopted mum. That's him. He's from Kingsman.
Oh, okay.
He's just your typical British thug character. And then at the end of episode 3, we feel like we're all over the place with this. We're trying to fit 3 episodes worth of content into
it's harder when you watch them all in
one hit, yeah. So we got introduced as well to Stellan Skarsgård's character, the buyer dude who wasn't a buyer. I feel like we're all over the place. Let's just do what happened in general. Let's forget the episodes because we're probably at the end of episode 4 now. But so we met him. He's I know he's a good guy, but I don't trust him.
I don't remember who he is.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Stellan Skarsgård is from Thor.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah. He's not a character.
No, I knew that. Do you know what I was thinking?
Who?
I was thinking of the Skarsgård brothers.
Yeah, no, this is the dad. Stellan
Is that
Skarsgård's
actually their dad?
Yeah.
I
I might have just made that up completely. He's got the same surname. Yeah, he is, I think. Anyway, he is now, right?
Okay.
Big news for the Skarsgård brothers, but yeah, he's the dad. Anyway, so he's like this buyer who turns out to be a recruiter for the Resistance. Not the Republic, the Resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't trust him.
Don't you?
No. There's just something about his character. Even from the trailers, I didn't trust him. And I don't trust him in this either.
It was very...
Walking around with his un-CGI'd lightsaber, basically. That's all it is. It's a lightsaber with a silver stick coming out of it. It is.
It was very much Aladdin and Jasmine, wasn't it? Do you trust me?
It was a little bit, yeah.
Take my hand and off we go.
I just don't... I know the whole thing is... So obviously the premise is that he's supposed to be buying this gear. Go on, what?
I've got a question to ask you.
Okay.
In that warehouse...
Yeah, that was amazing, that scene.
Brilliant.
Yes. What was going on? Who were they?
No. What was all this shit hanging from the ceiling?
I don't know.
It didn't look like it had any type of function. It was just there specifically to fall later.
That was it.
Like, it didn't really make any sense to me.
That is what
I must have just been overthinking it and not just the scene was there for enjoyment. But
yeah.
I was a bit like, well, why are they up there? What is that function? Doesn't make any sense that this warehouse is just hanging a load of massive metal things by chains.
No.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense.
Sorry if I've ruined it for anyone.
It's fine. You've just completely destroyed the illusion now.
However...
that scene was brilliant.
It was really good.
It was from that point in episode 3 right up until the end.
Yeah,
it was just constant.
Yeah,
and it was all the payoff.
And this is also
everything.
where Tim died.
You look so distraught
Because
you want to see Andy's face.
I remember his name.
He looks devastated.
But honestly, I did think, fuck's sake, Tim, stupidity much. They kept warning him.
Exactly.
And they gave him about 7 warnings.
Yeah.
He still wasn't meant to shoot him, and the captain got pissed off about it. However,
I felt sorry for Bix because when she got tied up, like when somebody came to rescue her at the end after Cassian had got off on the ship, she'd just been sat staring at her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Dead. You could see it. But you could see something was upsetting her at first. Obviously the fact that he was dead, but you didn't see until afterwards that she just sat staring at his body.
Yeah.
I know obviously she's not followed him off the planet. She's going to have to play a big part in this.
Yeah.
She's a good actress as well. I don't know who she is, but
no, I don't know.
She's really good.
She is.
But yeah, from the whole warehouse scene, so the whole fight in the warehouse was absolutely epic. All the clanging, you know, when all the that was amazing.
You know, like intimidation tactic, and it was like no.
Yeah,
they've got something else.
And then and I keep calling her the mum. What's her name? Marva. Fiona Shaw's character's Marva, and she's like, it's not the clanging you want to worry about. It's when it stops.
Yeah,
that's when you want to panic.
And when it did stop, I was like,
I know. And then Cassian's behind that Cyril with his gun to his head. I was like, yes, fucking shoot him. I like the character, but I was like, just shoot him. And then what's his like? Stellan Skarsgård was like, I'll do it. I'll just give me the gun. Give me the gun. I'll just kill him. I think that's going to be a massive mistake that they've not killed that guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back. Not with anything powerful, but I really do think he's probably going to end up joining the Empire. And he'll get completely used and abused by him.
Yeah.
But he'll just be cannon fodder. But he'll think he's doing really well and he's like really high up now in the Empire to stop the rebellion. He's going to end up getting killed by the end of the series, clearly,
probably.
But that's how it's going to go. I like the whole decoy car as well.
Yeah, I loved it.
How happy Trevor looked when he blew up that car.
Yeah.
He was buzzing.
And how fucking furious he was when he realised that he'd been played.
But again, you knew it was coming. You knew it was going to happen, but it still worked really, really well.
Yeah.
I liked it. And then we ended up, at the very end, when he gets off the planet, we got the flashback mirroring the exact same thing that's happened. So Marva has taken Cassian as a kid on her ship off the planet, off Canary, and at the same time Stellan Skarsgård's character's taken him off Ferrix, and they just mirrored each other. And it was only at that point, and it kind of, the fact that bookended the start of episode 1 and the end of this was the sister. Yeah, it's like the whole reason he's got into all this trouble and he's going to end up joining the Empire is he was looking for his sister.
Yeah.
You completely forgot about it for the rest of those episodes. And then at the very end, it's only when you see Cassian leaving the planet as a kid, it's like, he's left his sister on the planet. And
again?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and again, but I mean on a flashback.
Oh, yeah.
And the Empire's coming. The Empire's coming to the planet because of the crashed ship.
Yeah.
So it just bookended it really, really well. I appreciated that. He's not got much time to find his sister.
No.
Because he's gonna be dead soon.
Yeah.
That's the biggest upset for me with this. He was a great character in Rogue One.
Yeah.
They've done a really good job already in episodes 1 to 3, purely because nothing else happened in episode 1 and 2 of building up this character. I really like this character. I like a lot of the supporting cast as well. But you it's then that when you realise that realisation that he's gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably gonna survive. He's gonna survive the series clearly, but it's just that that realization that he's gonna die at the end.
Yeah,
and it's a bit crap. I don't like it. I kind of wish we could just have more Cassian Andor, but we're within a time limit. They've set this like 3 years before Rogue One at this stage, so there's limited stuff that you can do with him. But in general, I really liked this.
It was a solid start.
I wasn't sure after episode 1.
Yeah,
as I said, intrigued after episode 2, but not sold. And then you told me, I think you text me and said, it's a good one, episode 3.
Yeah.
And Kenneth, one of our patrons, he'd sent us a Podfans message, which we'll get to, and he's saying that episode 3 is where it really gets going. I was like, I'm confident it will. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
It's done really such a good job. I just hope that they can keep the pace now.
Yeah.
Because
the momentum's up now, isn't it? So
yeah, they've had, like we said at the start, this wouldn't have worked or hooked us anywhere near as much if they'd released less than that first 3 episodes.
Yeah,
and I'm just slightly concerned that we're going to end up having episodes 1 week where just nothing happens.
Yeah,
and it's okay because we're hooked
it's
now.
It's bound to happen. Yeah, because of how many episodes there are going to be.
Yeah,
but I feel like I'm going to be okay with it.
As long as we don't get 3 episodes of nothing happening again and then something happens. You get what I mean? Yeah. But there's a lot of episodes to fit in here. There's 12 episodes.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of glad because we'll talk about She-Hulk in a bit, but I feel like She-Hulk is dragging it out a little bit. This doesn't feel like it's dragged it out. It feels like it's played it really, really well. And again, I still can't quite wrap my head around how the same people made Boba Fett.
Yeah.
This was just on a completely different level. This is probably one of the best Star Wars things I've seen since The Mandalorian, and it's getting very close to The Mandalorian. We just need more episodes of it, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolute solid start.
Do you know what? The only downside I would say to it?
What?
I'm not a fan of the music at the beginning.
I can't remember. Do you know what? A few people have pointed out the music on Twitter. I don't remember the music at the beginning.
Just not great.
What, like, do you mean the opening titles?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
You know, like Mandalorian, as soon as you say it, you know the tune in your head.
I can do it, in my head now.
Like, it's just not.
No, I know what you mean.
It's not there.
I can't
for
remember.
me.
Well, I can't even remember it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But again, you might get used to it by the end.
Yeah, you might.
Is it going for a bit more of an understated?
I don't know.
I mean, that fits with episode 1 and 2 completely. And most of episode 3, to be fair. But, yeah, I don't know. If that's your biggest gripe about the series, I'm not saying you shouldn't be having it, but if that's such a positive thing, it's like I don't like the 20 seconds of music.
It's not even a massive gripe. I was just like, oh, meh.
Is that it? Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Good though. I am excited. I can't wait for next week. I'm genuinely looking forward.
I'm looking forward to next week's episode.
Really,
I might have to watch episodes 1, 2, and 3 again though to see if I can get my head around it a bit more.
I think I could. I think at first, because normally what we do for the podcast, and we have done in the past, is we'd watch something twice.
Yeah,
and definitely
once for enjoyment and then once to break it down.
Yeah, we haven't got time now because Marvel moved She-Hulk to a Thursday. But if you'd asked me at the end of episode 2, you're going to watch these again, I'd have been a bit apprehensive.
Yeah,
but now I'm okay with it. I'm quite happy to do a full rewatch of episodes 1, 2, 3. I don't need to, but I'm quite happy to do it again, basically, and get through them. Should we talk about something not as good?
Before we do that,
go on.
I'm really sad.
About what?
Because I feel like I missed a trick before when you said about the Simpsons on the ship.
Oh, why?
Because I'd have just gone worst pilot ever.
You missed that completely.
And now I'm really sad about it.
I did. It was my singing a Coldplay. Really you didn't get a chance to do it.
Just fucking
threw you off.
They were all yellow.
Anyway, let's do She-Hulk. Episode 6. Episode 6.
Yes.
Just Jen. Spoilers from the get-go.
Right. Can I talk about this before you talk about it?
Can I say one thing first?
Go on.
Right. I feel like you need to sell this to me because I'm not entirely feeling it.
Okay, right. So
go.
First of all, loved that it was called Just Jen in the She-Hulk when the title came
I like
up.
that, yeah.
I was like, okay, brill. And then her first interaction was breaking the fourth wall again.
Was, yeah.
And she was like, you know, weddings always happen at an awkward time. This episode's just about this wedding because that's what happens in life. It comes at an awkward time. And I was like, brilliant.
Yeah.
They've done that thing where they're taking the piss out of themselves again and all of that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, I know not to expect anything from this now.
Is that a good enough excuse?
Hang on. Because it set me up straight away. And I was like, fab. Brilliant.
Okay.
So we then obviously get the whole wedding thing and there's still the She-Hulk or Jen. She turns up as She-Hulk at the wedding and then the bride's like kicking off going, you can't overshadow me and all that kind of stuff. This is the first time we've seen her a bit gutted that she can't bring out She-Hulk.
Yeah, I suppose,
because it's always been I'll give it a go. I'm not too happy about it. You know, the Tinder stuff, even the stuff in her personal life, she was doing it and she was like, I'm not sure how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Whereas this time she was like, do you know what? She is fucking beautiful and I want to show her off kind of thing. And then she was told she couldn't.
No, I know.
So I like that change in the dynamic straight off because it's a little bit different. Josh.
Who's Josh?
Josh is the guy that she's been talking to at the
Josh
wedding.
is the guy who seems to fancy her.
Yes.
Okay.
So straight away, I was like, he's being very nice. He's evil.
I did think that, to be fair.
Straight off, I'm thinking he's I actually thought, could he be the one that's leading all of this? And we don't know how he knows her, but he knows her in some way.
Yeah.
This is his kind of trying to casually meet her.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking to myself, every man that we've seen, whether they've come out straight off as bad or seemed good at first, have turned out bad.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So are they going to subvert our expectations by actually making him a good guy?
I don't
Instead,
think that. I think we'll either never see the guy again, which is the most likely scenario in my mind, or he'll be a bad guy.
See,
I don't think he's going to end up being.
I'll be sad if that's the case because it's just same again.
And that's what. Right, I've not got a problem with it.
Yeah,
and we've talked about this every single week, and I know we have. I love the message that they're putting across.
Yeah.
It needs to be said. And I'm not even going to say it's not the right time and place to do it, but it is a superhero. It is a superhero show at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's getting a bit forced now.
No, I get that. And that's why I'm really hoping that he is genuinely a good guy.
I hope it is as well. I don't think that's where it's going to go, though.
So, anyway, so this is... I'm still leading up to me thing.
Okay.
So, we now know at this point that Titania is not going to be the big bad or anything like that.
I doubt it, yeah.
She's just there. She's that person that's going to get defeated every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
In some way. I like her now because of that.
I do.
And that fight that they had at the wedding, although quite brief,
yeah,
I really enjoyed.
I really enjoyed
and the fact that
One
she
of the
smashed
highlights.
her teeth in.
Yeah.
And then she had a meltdown on the social media thing.
Yeah.
Like that, I was chuckling to myself.
I can't remember what the
over that.
music was over it, but it was great.
Oh,
Chaired on the decks.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it was amazing. I was
fit really well. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
There were a lot of elements of the show I enjoyed.
So, take all of that away.
Yeah.
This was a Nikki episode for me.
It was a Nikki episode. Nikki and Mallory.
And I loved it because of them.
Yes.
So I loved Nikki. No, I will not tell her. I will not tell her that this is happening.
Yeah. Straight on the phone.
And then she's on the phone.
Yeah.
Leaving a voicemail, can we just point out?
I know.
She's not even having the conversation. She's that desperate to tell her
like,
that she's actually done it on a voicemail. It's
Yeah.
like, so hopefully no one will kill you. Call me back, bye.
Yeah.
Like, and that I was just howling because I was like, I've got friends that are like that.
I
that
have.
are like,
you.
I'm not that bad.
I get so many WhatsApp voice messages. And it's usually an impression or a song.
Okay. But
moving on.
Not only did we get kind of her being a friend side,
Yeah.
but we also found out that actually she's really fucking good at her job.
Definitely, yeah, she's brilliant.
Because this guy, Mr. Immortal, hilarious, by the way.
I enjoyed that as well.
Very, very funny.
Yeah.
When you found out that he was married multiple times,
Yeah.
then they're all in the same room, and then you've got the guy on the end fuming as well for the
Sebastian.
$75,000 thing. I was just pissing myself laughing. And then the fact that he went to get up to go and run away again, she was like, no.
No, yeah.
Do not kill
That
yourself.
bit when he just threw himself out the window the first time. That was brilliant. That was really good.
Howling. But Nikki resolving that herself, and Mallory kind of taking a step back and being like, okay,
Yeah.
she's got game kind of thing.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it for the Nikki aspect.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed that, and I would happily sit and watch a TV show about Nikki.
I could as well. And I agree that this whole series has been very much about character building, and I get that.
Yeah.
I just think...
You're just sitting very much on there. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm
struggling
totally
with
get
that's
it.
what I'm struggling with. I can't see the point of it. And I know it was pitched originally as this is a comedy, not serious, superhero sitcom. They made a huge point of it being a sitcom.
What I'm really enjoying
it's
about
not going
it now,
anywhere.
I know, but what I'm enjoying about it now is at the if we go back now and watch the first 5 minutes of every episode,
Yeah.
she tells us what happens in that episode.
No, I
every
suppose,
single
yeah.
time, and then we go, "Ugh, well, this didn't happen, and it's like actually looking back, no, she told us. She's told us what's going to happen.
I know.
So, and I totally get what you mean, but she is laying it out on the table before we even start.
I agree.
So we're not getting anything. We're being told what to expect before the episode starts, and that's what. Now that I feel like a switch has flicked in my head, and I get it.
I think I'm nearly there, but I'm not quite there as yet. I understand. If I think about it, I get it.
Yeah.
But when I go into it not thinking about it too much,
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
No, I'm in now. I get it. It's flicked that switch for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
For what it is,
I'm sound
it's
with this.
good.
The thing
Everything
is,
that happened in this episode was good. I loved the Mr. Immortal thing.
Yeah.
I loved the Nikki story. I quite enjoyed the wedding story as well.
Yeah.
As I said, I think the all men are bastards basically is just a little bit old at this point in the series. I agree with the message. I like the fact that they've got it there in
to
prime
be fair,
media.
though, in this episode, apart from Mr. Immortal,
But there were only two guys in the episode. There was Josh and Mr. Immortal, and you even think that Josh is probably going to end up being a bad guy
yeah, but
because you don't trust him. That's what you've had instilled in you from the first 5 episodes, that you do not trust that man.
Yeah.
Because of the constant
And that's why I want him to be good.
I would like him to be good. I don't think he will be, though. But I don't think that's necessarily right. Highlight the issues 100%, but let's not make it so that your first instinct is that every man in this show is going to be bad.
What if he's working for Matt Murdock and is vetting her?
I don't think it's that deep. Can I just clarify it? I don't have a problem with the message that they're putting across. I don't think it's...
to be fair, I actually don't think that agenda was pushed that much in this episode. I know obviously he was with
I don't feel it was massively pushed, but I just think it's the fact that we've got to have it in every episode.
Yeah.
Because we do. I think it was really, really well done and well placed in the first couple of episodes.
Yeah.
It feels a bit clunky now.
Yeah.
Where it's like, how can we get this into this episode? But I get the fact that the message needs to be put across. That's not the issue that I've got with it, though. I've not got an issue with that. I've not got an issue with the show because of that. The issue I've got with it is, and I know Marvel have never said this is what it's anything other than a comedy sitcom. I know that. And I know at the start of every episode, like you're saying, she sets out what's going to happen in the episode.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that as well. And for what's happening in the episodes, I'm good with that. But it's all the marketing. They've pushed Matt Murdock and Daredevil in this so much. Not just in the show, because they've only sort of teased it once.
But in the MCU in general.
But just all the marketing for it.
Yeah.
They've made such a big point of Matt Murdock being in this. And I'm now at the point where I think he's going to roll up in the last 10 minutes of the last episode.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, we're being strong. They're trying to sell something that it's not from the marketing perspective.
Yeah.
I really do think, I think they are. Not in the show, but from a marketing perspective, they're trying to sell something it's not.
Yeah.
And I think if you told people, which I think they did to a degree, I get that, but it's not being put across as what it is. If you take it as it genuinely is a comedy sitcom and you just take every episode as what it is, then it is good. Yeah. I don't feel that's necessarily the best way to introduce She-Hulk, because I think it makes her come across as a not big player in the MCU, and she should be. Yeah. I think that's the reason, that's the issue I've got with it. On paper, though, every part of that episode was not necessarily the best thing ever, but it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And I was happy with everything in the episode.
Yeah.
I just wasn't happy that was what the episode was.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Does that make sense?
The only other thing I'm going to say is, at this point now, 6 episodes in of 9 episodes, I get what you're saying with Daredevil and stuff. However, I'm also going to put this out there. Out of all of the series that have been released for the MCU so far, I've not laughed so much as I have in this season.
Again, it's a comedy and it's good.
It's doing the job.
It is, yeah. Let's talk about the end then, because we got a little bit serious at the end with the whole website. Intelligentsia or something like that, I think it was called.
Intelligentsia.
Is that what it was called? Yeah. So that took a really dark turn.
It did.
Yeah.
I quite liked it.
I liked it, yeah. I don't think this was about... It wasn't... This didn't feel forced. This was like, this is what's going on. Yeah. And it is what's going on. You can see a lot of people don't like this show because they're morons, for want of a better word. Yeah. And it's like, because it's about a female superhero, I don't like it.
I think you could pretty much look at this not even as as kind of a gender sex row type thing. This whole series could be kind of publicized as modern day technology and how it has a negative impact on the world.
Social media in general.
Yeah. Because everything has been based around your Tinder and your dating apps. Yeah. It's been around media. It's been around a kind of a woman who is known for her social media, her TikToks and stuff like that. And then even the famous person that they've brought in is someone who's famous through kind of your TikTok and your Twitter and stuff like that. Everything seems to be about how social media is crippling the world, essentially.
It's deep, that, Anthony, but I don't think you're far off.
No, and I actually, if that's becoming the message, then actually...
I'm doing it really subtly.
Doing it, yeah. And I'd be well into it if that's...
I agree.
If that's the case.
I agree.
Because it's that whole thing of how can you hide when there's eyes on every corner of the known world.
Yeah. But it's also that it's not real, everything that you see on social media. It's all edited and
Yeah.
it's all done through a filter. Same with with Titania, the veneers come out. She's already started. The impression I get with Titania is by the end of this, Jen's going to feel sorry for her and they're going to end up being some sort of, not friends necessarily, but allies to a degree.
Have a mutual respect for one another.
I think that's where it's going with it. Yeah. And I feel like you're supposed to feel
that little
sorry
knowing
for
nod.
her. Yeah. That you're going to start feeling sorry for her, but she's a monster that's been created by Instagram, all that sort of stuff, TikTok. So I get that, and it's a good way. It's a good way of doing it, to be fair. I think, again, it's been more subtle, but with the website, that's like a more direct way of doing it. It's good, it's clever, it's different, it's a different way of doing it.
Yeah.
Apparently, the intelligentsia is from the comics.
Okay.
Whether it's going to go down the route of the comics in this, I'm not sure.
Okay.
So when I first watched this, and you see obviously the end, and you see that they've now got a syringe that's going to be able to pierce her skin and stuff like that, my first thought was that it's that Todd guy from Baywatch.
Okay.
The guy who's popped up a couple of times.
Well, no, I was thinking it's going to be this Josh.
I wasn't thinking that, but I could see that. But my concern, again, I know it's a comedy, but it's not the way I want the show to go. It's just not the way I want it to go. My concern is that it's going to end up being the whole bad guy, and the whole thing is just some guy who hates women.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
No.
I don't. I know. I get, again, the message. I get it, but I don't want that to be the whole crux of it. Because I feel like to a degree you're giving them power.
Yeah.
Turning that into supervillain territory.
And
they're not. They're just idiots.
It'll be something for the real life ones to feed off.
Exactly. I don't like that. I don't want them to go down that route.
No, I get it.
But I did a bit of research, and according to a few places that I've read, in the comics with intelligentsia, I can't say it. It's a group formed to exchange information between the world's greatest criminal geniuses. They end up getting disbanded in the comics, but they end up getting then reformed, and the leader is MODOK.
Oh, okay.
So he runs intelligentsia. They also sort of put together their own team of bad Hulks. They convinced General Ross to become Red Hulk, later brainwash and transform many of Bruce Banner's closest allies into Hulks, including Red She-Hulk, A-Bomb, and Amadeus Cho. That would make sense with where we thought it was going anyway. New Hulks and stuff like that.
And that
World War
lead
Hulk
into World War.
Exactly. The leader could even be part of it. He's coming up in Captain America 4 as well, New World Order. So
do you know what I love
like to think that's where it is going.
I love when you've got a bad guy who, instead of him being the muscle, he's the brains. So if MODOK was like manipulating for all this to happen, you get your action and everything, but you've also got a very clever man at the top of it who is using everybody like pawns. That's what I'd really enjoy.
Or the leader.
We haven't particularly had that.
No.
In any Marvel project so far. It's always ended up being.
It's always been ended up being
fighting themselves and being the
powered fight against the good guy.
I'd quite like that somebody else is using a manipulative way to
I'd like that.
To move everybody else on the chessboard type of thing.
But I'm concerned that that's not where this is going to go.
No, probably not.
I'm concerned that it's just going to end up being Josh or that dude.
Feige, will you just please employ us?
Just don't.
Honestly, we'll have some dead good ideas.
Let's not do that. Let's not. Again, not only do I think it's stupid, as I said, I think it's giving power to what you're trying to put down in this series. I just don't think it's good. In general, though, right, okay, I'm getting a bit bored of the series.
I know you are. I can tell.
And again, it's just not necessarily for me. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's the series that I wanted so far.
Yeah.
I enjoy it in general. When I sit and watch it, I enjoy it for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is. But there's not really that excitement every week anymore for me where I'm like, oh my God, dead excited. I can't wait to watch the next She-Hulk. I watch it. I enjoy it. I end up a little bit annoyed at the end of most episodes now because I'm like, I still don't know where this is going. And I forgave it in the first 4 because there were 9 episodes. We've got 3 episodes left now.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we've happened. No, I don't feel like anything's happened. We've said it about Andor. I was going to say, they did it in episode 3.
We've said it about the last few Marvel series though that we've watched. Yeah. We've gotten quite late on and gone, where's it going?
I know.
Where's it going?
And I don't think it's had the payoff for the last couple.
No.
I don't think Ms. Marvel had the payoff. Again, I enjoyed the series in general.
Yeah.
I don't think there was the payoff there. I don't even think there was one in Moon Knight.
Do you think we're still expecting stuff too big for a series?
Yeah,
because of the fact that we're so heavily movie orientated with the MCU in general.
Yeah.
And the fact that the first 3 projects that we had were characters that were already established.
I don't mind the introduction of new characters. I think that's a good thing.
I don't mind the introduction of new characters, but what I'm saying is the fact that the first 3 TV series that we had already had that established, so we were straight into storylines with them.
Yeah.
I think kind of spoiled us before going into new series where you've got to re-establish everyone and everything for that story. So I don't know whether we're expecting these big payoffs when actually the actual character and storyline isn't there yet. Do you get what I mean? And I'm not saying that they're doing it the right way or anything like that.
No.
You know, it probably could be done better in certain ways, but I don't know whether our expectations are just a little bit too high as well because of what we've already had.
I think expectations are high, and I feel like it's coming across, and I hope this isn't the case, it's all coming across to me now as a little bit lazy. All of it. Not the movies, to be fair.
Yeah.
But the TV series a little bit lazy. Right. They're very well produced TV series. They're good, but it's getting to the point, and I'm sure it's not. I'm sure Feige's got a plan. I trust Feige. I genuinely do trust Kevin Feige with all this. But when we've just had movie to movie, there's been, specifically from phase 2 onwards, there was always that one overarching story, and every movie sort of fed into it. Yeah. And I know what we're leaning towards now. I know we're leaning towards Secret Wars and Kang, and we don't want everything given away. I get that. But it's got to the point now where I just see it as it's drop a couple of Easter eggs in it and put out an average story. Yeah. And it doesn't... Do you know what I mean?
Here's another question for you then.
Okay.
Do you think it's Feige testing the water for new directors so that we're not having the same films every time?
No. I think it's coming across, as I said, I think it's coming across as we're just putting out as much content as we can do to make as much money as we can do. And we're going to put little nods in there, little Easter eggs, bit of nostalgia here and there, back to past Marvel projects and stuff like that. The shoes, all that sort of stuff, the Easter eggs, the Cyclops shoes, all that sort of stuff. That's how it's coming across. I don't think that's what they're doing. Yeah. I hope this is all very clever from Feige. And at some point we're all going to go, bang, 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 bang. It's all going to slot into place and we're going to go, fucking phenomenal. Kevin Feige's a genius. Yeah. And I'm confident that that's going to happen, but it's taken a little bit too long now. Yeah. And I'm starting to worry that that's not going to happen. And this is all just, let's just throw out as much content as we can do.
No, I get you.
And I get that we need to have different things. And this is a different approach. This is something we've not seen before. So is Ms. Marvel. So is Moon Knight. Everything's been a bit different, to be fair. And maybe it is a bit of testing the waters, but I just need a bit more cohesiveness. Does that make sense? Yeah. Otherwise, I think I'm getting a little bit fed up of it. Yeah. I think a lot of people will be getting fed up with it at this stage.
As I say, the switch is flicked for me.
No, I get it. So I know. No, I don't mean She-Hulk.
No, I know you're talking about
MCU in general, yeah.
But like for this one in particular, like I feel like I get it now. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I know.
Not even just I'm okay with it. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. And I didn't have a problem with the fact that I didn't see Daredevil, for example. I was fine with it.
No, I know what you mean, and I am on the surface as well. But I just want more.
No, I know.
I want more. I want more of a story. Again, I know pretty much said it, but my biggest concern, which I think I said to you even before we started doing this podcast, when we after Endgame, my biggest concern was that we're going to start now bringing in too many new characters and it's all going to get too big. And I know that's what the comics is like, but I think it's all getting a little bit lost. Yeah. And I like the fact that when we had 6 Avengers and it was just easy to keep up with them when we had one story. And obviously new characters got introduced, but it's just all new and there's so many characters.
Another spanner in the works then.
Okay.
Do we think that... And, we are past it a bit, and it's not something we particularly have talked about on the podcast because we wanted to escape it a bit. COVID, do you think that that's had a big effect on?
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
On how it's all been done?
Yeah.
Because our other thing is we've flipped and we've pushed back the films in which order they're coming out in, when they're coming out, and all of that kind of stuff as well. And I don't know whether maybe there's been an effect. I mean, don't
Putting out
forget,
fires.
we're quite lucky in the UK that we have come out of it a lot earlier than other people have.
I know.
You know, I'm very aware that there's still people having to wear masks going outside and stuff like that even now.
Yeah.
And we've not had mandatory masks for...
Back in next week, apparently, but yeah.
Oh, really?
From what I've heard, yeah. Anyway, it's a completely different subject. But I know what you mean. I do think it's affected it. Hopefully, it'll get better.
Yeah.
And probably they are having to. We know they've changed dates and they've pushed things back and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully that is it.
Well, do you know what? For me, I don't know whether that's why they've made sure to put maybe more little Easter eggs and stuff like that within
to keep people
the
happy.
series, because they're going, we appreciate we can't get this out for an extra 6 months.
Yeah.
So let's give you a little taste or a little something here and there. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but there's so many different reasons that it could be getting done the way it's getting done.
Yeah.
But I'm the same as you. I've got faith.
I've got faith, complete faith. I can see.
It's hard to maintain something after, 15, 18 years, whatever it is now that it's been going on for. So I get it.
I just hope, and I suppose we'll end on this note, I suppose.
Yeah.
I hope that, and it won't happen, but I hope that Kevin Feige and Disney choose to wrap this up when it needs to be wrapped up.
Yeah.
Don't just keep introducing new characters
that
and
won't
new
happen.
multiverses. No, I know that it'll just keep going until everybody hates Marvel and everyone gets bored of it, but they need to wrap it up.
I mean, did I tell you?
Phase 9, wrap it up.
Did I tell you?
What?
Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah.
was having a chat with Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, I've heard this, yeah.
Have you?
Told him never do hard drugs or comic book movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's old school, isn't he?
Yeah, but I was just like,
school.
oh, okay. So
He also told him never date a woman over 25, probably, but because he doesn't. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where it's going. I don't know. I'm not losing interest in Marvel, but I get why people might at this stage.
Yeah.
I've got it. I think it's.
I know a couple of people that are and have.
As do I. Yeah.
And it's a bit sad, but
I know.
Something
we need something big.
I'm somebody who, in general, anyway, is easily entertained. It doesn't take much for me to enjoy something. Me too. So I think it'd have to.
I'll always be
quite
entertained
dire.
by it. Yeah. I just want it to start all tying together now. And it's still not quite there.
Yeah,
but we've got so much content coming over the next couple of years that it should do.
Yeah,
fingers crossed. Anyway,
fingers crossed.
Should we wrap up the review? Should we do Podfans Assemble? See what listeners think.
Yes.
Pod Fans Assemble.
So first of all, we did the poll for Andor to see what you thought of episodes 1 to 3.
Yeah.
80% loved it.
Amazing.
20% said it was okay.
Okay.
0% hated it.
That's amazing.
Don't know if you could do your maths before I said that.
I did. I figured that out myself.
20, that was pretty
only because I'd seen the poll. But yeah, I get that. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed it. Made She-Hulk feel a little bit less good. I know it's a completely different show, and I know it's a different style of show, and it's going for a different thing, but Andor felt mega, and She-Hulk then the next day. That I do wonder whether that's another reason why they've separated these days out.
Maybe.
Because if you watched Andor and then went for 20 minutes of She-Hulk getting drunk at a wedding, you'd be like, oh, it's not on the same level.
Chad
it's still better than Boba Fett. Chad
the
the DJ was absolutely
He was
boss.
brilliant.
Yeah. With his little air horn when he was playing. Andor, anyway, let's do Andor.
Also, sorry, just
no,
quick. I love that he didn't even attempt to go and help his sister.
No.
He was like, nah, she's sound.
She's He was good.
So Rachel Miller said, I've only had time for episode 1 tonight, but I really liked it. It has subtle humour, like the colour tone, the costumes, and then in brackets I want some, the music and his droid. Obviously need to watch the next 2, as it's clear you'll get more of a feel watching all 3 at once, but a good start. I did also love R2 Postbox.
As did I.
Steven said, lousy show, hope the rest will be better. Good thing I streamed it for free, even paying $1 for that would have been an outrageous scam.
I don't get that.
No, I don't get that either.
The
only thing that
not watched
frustrates
the
me
full
with
3
comments,
episodes,
the only thing that frustrates me with comments, and I will say it, we've just had a message from somebody who says, I like the humour, I like the colour tone, costumes, the music, blah, blah, blah. But then the people that say they don't like it just go, it's lousy. Like, give us a reason.
Yeah, but
explain yourself. Like, no, everyone's entitled to an opinion. Yeah. I'd just love to understand why. And if you just gave us like this is what I don't like about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's when you, I just don't like people saying, I
don't
crap.
like because I don't like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't though. Sometimes you just don't get it.
And do you know what? Even if you just say, I just don't, I can't get my head around it. It's not something that's to my particular taste. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Just give us that little bit more. Give us a reason.
Bit of a critique.
Just give me a reason.
Give us a bit
just
of critique.
a little.
He's just dying to sing something there, weren't you? Thank you for the comment. Thank you. Thank you. I just do think like when we get the negative ones, it tends to just be. What was that person's name?
Bad. Stephen,
when you give us your review of episode 4, Anthony wants like a full written review.
No, not like that. I'm not.
Have you got time to do a dissertation?
I don't want a 2,000 word essay. I just want to know why. You've told me it's a lousy show. Just tell me why you think it's lousy. Just give me something. Give me something to work with.
Maybe
so
just
that
doesn't
I
like
understand.
Star Wars.
Maybe. Probably better not to watch Star Wars.
I think it depends though how much of it you've watched. I could see if you've only watched episode 1 or even just episode 1 and 2, you might be a bit like
hard work. This
it was hard. I thought it was a bit hard.
Totally.
I thought it was going to be.
You told me you were worried about it because you were knackered yesterday.
Oh, I was not.
You did say I'm not feeling this. Aren't you glad you did though?
I'm so glad I did. I was all psyched up and going for a run and everything.
I mean, we had a message off Grogu.
The Grogu.
Amazing. Perfection.
There you go.
I feel like that's a PR stunt.
Hang on, but why is it perfection, Anthony?
PR stunt.
Do you not
said that.
Do you not
want Grogu?
Do you not want a
Grogu's not going to say it's shit,
Do you not want a 2,000-page essay on why he thinks it's good? Is it okay for good comments just to be like, why this is good because it was good? It's
Grogu. It's PR.
It's only got little hands. It takes him ages to type.
So, Kenneth said, Andor is fantastic. Dare I say it, better than Mando was on its launch. Beautifully acted, directed and shot, and no Jedi or Empire in sight so far is a plus.
I like that.
Episode 3 is its real starting point, but they earn every moment in that third episode by everything they do in 1 and 2.
Totally agree.
I can't wait for more of this week to week, and I'm so glad it's been renewed for Series 2 in a couple of years.
Yes, so am I. Completely nailed it. It was just so much character building and world building in those first episodes too. It's really paid off.
Tie-dye guy said...
that really tickled Anthony.
It all rhymed.
You should see Andy's face. He was just so pleased with that name. Well done.
So far, I'm liking it. Yes, it is slow, but I like that. They are telling a detailed story, actual character development. Who would have thunk?
I know, yeah. Especially off the back of bloody Boba Fett.
Yeah. Movies for Real said, just wow. Andor met and exceeded my expectations. This is what Star Wars is capable of, and we need more of this character-driven stories and more mature Star Wars stories. And this show just really exemplifies why Rogue One is the best new Star Wars story we've gotten. Agree.
Yeah. I didn't enjoy Rogue One as much as I've enjoyed this.
Ooh.
What?
I really enjoyed Rogue One.
I enjoyed it. I think this is better than Rogue One.
Do you?
Yeah. I came off the back of this.
I'm not going to put that judgment until I've seen the rest of the story.
No, just from what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
I came genuinely. When I watched the end of the episode 3, I was so impressed. Honestly, I was like trying to figure out what to text Anthony. I was like, I can't believe how good that was that I've just watched. It was phenomenal. I really, really enjoyed this.
Fluke Skywalker.
The Fluke
Skywalker said was way better than I expected. Moved a little slow at first, but it had to give us some backstory. By the end of the third episode, I had goosebumps. Feels like vintage Star Wars. Excited to see where this season goes.
You know what I just tried to say?
What?
How I felt after episode 3. That.
Okay.
Yeah. I hadn't even read that. That's exactly how I feel. Yeah.
Will said, I thought it was good and a change of pace, especially for Star Wars, and not just filled with nostalgia. However, it was very slow and could have been 1 episode. No point giving 3 episodes with 1 episode of content. Bix is a great character, and I love Cassian. Flashbacks again with a... I don't know.
We did have flashbacks. Yeah. It was good.
There were better flashbacks than...
Well done flashbacks, though. That's the thing. So
then we had She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. What was the poll on She-Hulk, Andy?
The poll was not good on She-Hulk.
It wasn't good, was it?
No. 33% loved it.
At least there was some love.
19% said it was okay.
I'm in the 19.
And a whopping 48% said they hated
That's
it.
a lot of hate.
It is a lot of hate.
That's a lot of hate. Right, I know we've just talked about this to death. I've seen a lot of people, somebody on Twitter, who I've got a lot of respect for, to be perfectly honest, said, I won't name him because he doesn't want to be named, but said he didn't like this. He didn't say he hated She-Hulk or anything like that, but he was basically saying it's not working for him at all.
Yeah.
And he's just been launched on today. Loads of people just saying, you don't get what this show's about, blah, 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 blah. And people saying that it's not the MCU, it's not what the MCU's about and stuff like that. That's the point of the show. It's supposed to be something different. I get that, but it's an MCU show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't just you can't put something in the MCU that's not got really much to do with MCU and go, well, that's what it's supposed to be. It's like, well, you don't put it in then, do you?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
No, I get
If you made
that.
a Star Wars show, and I know this is a bit different, but Andor's a bit different. But if you made a Star Wars show that was set in the Star Wars universe, had nothing to do with any Star Wars character, was a rom-com, and literally you just had the odd, oh, did you hear the Death Star blew up yesterday while they're eating dinner in the canteen?
Yeah.
And people don't like it because it's not about Star Wars. You can't sit there and go, well, it's not about Star Wars. It's set in the Star Wars universe. It's got to be something to do with it.
Yeah.
And I get why people aren't enjoying
The
this.
one thing I will say, though, is, and I know obviously I said I wanted more from Stephen before, but everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
Yes, they are.
And this is the one thing I don't want. I don't want us to go down the toxic fan route.
No, I don't want people. Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that he's been launched on, based on
the fact that he's not liking the show. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Like, guys, just chill out.
He didn't
Somebody
sit there
else's
and say, I
dislike
don't
of a
like it because I
series.
don't like it.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
gave a good reason as to why he doesn't like it.
Somebody else's dislike for a series is not going to change your life.
Exactly.
I'm not going to go to sleep crying because Stephen said it was a lousy show.
No,
do you know what I mean? Like,
If
everyone
Stephen
is
doesn't like
entitled.
it just because Stephen doesn't like it,
Yeah,
that's fine. It doesn't affect
exactly.
you
And
in any
that-
way, shape,
no.
or form. He's entitled to his opinion.
Yeah, totally.
It wasn't Stephen, by the way.
No. But what I'm saying is, like, we don't need toxicity, guys.
Do you not think, and we're going off on a proper tangent here, Twitter just seems to be not a fun place at the moment
it's
for
not
all
fun
this.
at all.
Hence why we're starting the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come on and talk about what you want on the Discord, because
Yeah.
it's not going to be filled with all this.
But no toxicness.
No toxicness, otherwise you get kicked out.
Yeah.
Sat on you.
Yeah. I'll sing Baby Shark on a 12-hour loop.
You will. Anyway, people didn't like She-Hulk.
The terrible Huck said,
Okay.
wasn't as impressed with this one. They butchered my favourite Great Lakes Avenger.
Mr. Immortal was a comic book
okay.
comic book
Didn't know
Avenger.
that.
I think he was kind of like a baddie turned good, but
Yeah.
shit team.
And the A-plot just wasn't all that compelling.
Okay.
Nice to see mention of Hulkling and the Intelligentsia, though.
Intelligence, yeah.
Oh, also, she phoned Bruce. We didn't mention that.
What?
She phoned Bruce at the wedding. She left him a voicemail.
Did not get onto that at all.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know why I forgot to mention it before.
Didn't know that.
She phoned him and she was like, Bruce, if you could just call me back. It's been a week now.
I didn't even get onto that.
Yeah. So there's
Okay, so I like the fact that we've
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's a bit better actually. That tiny little point has actually made it a little bit better that we're still acknowledging the fact that Bruce is missing.
Yeah, she's at the wedding. She sat on her own and she's on the phone at the beginning of that scene.
Okay.
And that's, So we've had a Bruce mention. Ross Kiernan said, I did not like it this week as it was very standalone. In terms of the rest of the series, the Jen versus Titania battle was a standout. Would not be surprised if Titania is behind the ending scene. Speaking of which, that cliffhanger was excellent.
Cliffhanger was good.
I'd be surprised if Titania was behind it. I don't think she's that clever. I think the whole point is that she's a persona on social media. I don't know whether She-Hulk beating her down a couple of times through this will make her a big baddie for something else. I don't know whether she will lose the name Titania and become something else. Maybe something that is a big bad in the She-Hulk comics, maybe.
Titania was a big bad in the She-Hulk.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a character from the comics. I just don't think we'll see Titania after this again.
Oh, okay.
I think Titania's got her own character arc here, and it's to become a bit of an anti-hero, but I don't think we'll see her again. I hope we do, because I like her, but yeah, I don't think we will.
Okay. He also said, hopefully the series will start to pick up again, but I have to say I have been disappointed by the last 3 episodes. I don't know what I want from this series, but the first 3 episodes were great. The last 2 were disappointing. I just really didn't care for this week's episode.
Again, he's some my
And this
thoughts
is the
up. I don't
negative
know
one
what
where he's given me a little bit more. This is what I like.
I don't know what I want from this series.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Kenneth said, really like this week's She-Hulk. However, I get the feeling that Jonathan is also hiding a secret. Jonathan's the
dogs. So either that's fucking genius comedy from Kenneth.
Or he
he's got
meant
the name
Josh.
wrong. I like to think it's the comedy. Do you know what? I read this comment before I'd watched the episode, and I was waiting for Jonathan all the way through, like she was. And then you saw Jonathan, and I was like, "What?"
Do you know what's really funny? As soon as she said, "I'm pairing you with Jonathan," I said in my head, "It's a fucking dog." And then when it came out, I was like, I called it.
I thought it was going to be the big bad of the episode because of what Kenneth had said in the comment before I'd watched it.
I still kind of want it to happen.
Yeah, I do, yeah. Can you... Oh, do you know what? Take it all back. I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine. If we went proper stupid...
Titania walking up to Jonathan and going, "Yes, boss. I'm sorry to have disappointed you.
Do that.
Can you pay for me veneers?"
I'm completely on board with that.
Oh, God. So anyway, he did then put in brackets, shield agent / sword agent vibe. Hope he's not...
Images of him in his little suits.
Him and Goose.
With his iPad.
Him fighting Goose.
Oh, the Pet Avengers.
Cats and dogs. The...
Alligator Loki. Frog Thor. Jonathan with his eye patch leading S.H.I.E.L.D.
Jonathan just randomly starts talking. Alligator Loki.
I want
we
this
meet again.
I want this so bad. This needs to be it.
Oh, God. Right. Anyway. I didn't actually mind the Titania stuff this week, although her being there was a little Deus Ex Machina.
Deus Ex Machina?
Yeah.
Don't know what that is.
No,
I mean, I
don't.
know what it is. It's a game, I think, but...
Liked that it subverted the expectations teased in the end scene of the last episode, and it now to me seems that Daredevil may be in the last couple of episodes, if that, and perhaps lead to his show or Echo and Jennifer being part of that perhaps. Like the fourth wall stuff this week too, and give this episode an 8 out of 10.
I'd like her to go into Daredevil and we see a darker, grittier side of it.
So I was thinking this, maybe she will go into it and it'll be darker, but she'll be the...
Yeah, because she'll
kind of like
she'll break the fourth wall all the time. Yeah.
I heard a rumor.
Did you?
And I'm not using me.
You're not using your powers.
I'm not using my Umbrella Academy powers. But I heard a rumor that I can't remember his name. The guy that worked with Daredevil in the.
Anthony heard a rumor that the guy from The Thing is going to be in The Thing.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing, exclusive.
No. So in the
Anthony
Daredevil
heard
series,
a rumor that Eldon Hansen.
Yeah.
From Mighty Ducks is going to be...
No.
Yeah.
Oh, was he from Mighty Ducks?
He was in the Mighty Ducks, yeah. He was in Mighty Ducks.
With Huey, Louie and Dewey.
With Huey, Louie and Dewey, yeah.
I'm such a dickhead.
Wow, that is a throwback to episode 1 of the podcast. 72 episodes
Was that
later.
episode
That
1?
was episode 1, yeah.
Oh, God. How embarrassing. Anyway, yeah. So...
Yeah, he's going to be in it.
Yeah.
I'd be disappointed if he's not.
Yeah, well, now they're all wondering whether the girl's going to be in it as well. Oh, I'm so shit with names.
Yeah. Exclusive, Anthony has heard that the guy from that thing is going to be in that thing with the girl from the other thing.
I hate you sometimes. Anyway.
You heard it here first.
Anyway, Kenneth gave that episode an 8 out of 10.
Good.
Right.
I'm gone.
Bargain bin Harley Quinn
Amazing.
said, okay, I am loving these episode-specific title cards. This show is brilliantly self-aware on multiple levels. I was cracking up throughout the episode, really enjoying it. So that ending segment truly caught me off guard and felt particularly sinister and ominous. I agree.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
really agree with that.
It needed to give me an extra 5 seconds and a little bit more of information.
I'm a bit weirded out that we've not had another clip at the end as well.
What, a post-credit scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing as we had them for the first 3, it's weird that they've stopped.
It feels like they've got a little bit lazy since they released the first 3
4?
episodes. We got post credits on the first 4.
It's only the last one and this one, isn't it?
Yeah,
So I just find that a bit weird.
I do.
They also said, I really want to add the episode-specific mini quarrels and the case of the week format actually makes She-Hulk the most comic book-like show ever made.
Yeah, do you know what? Excellent point.
Yeah, technically it
Still
it
don't
is.
love that, but yeah, excellent point.
Yeah. Again, it's a way of storytelling that was done very predominantly in the 90s.
Yeah.
We moved away from that kind of starting from the 2000s and it became a story arc where you had one big story over the entire series with smaller stories in between. Whereas back in the 90s, you had an episode and the story happened in that episode and then they just moved on.
Yeah.
And even the big stories, they weren't big. It was just, it's season 3 because there's a love connection between blah and blah.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, it's just normal. Like
it's a lot longer series though.
Yeah.
You used to get 24 episodes, and you'd get the first 12 episodes with just were Freak of the Week episodes, and then towards this, like, at the end, you'd start to learn the story.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work as well in 9 and they were all hour long episodes.
Yeah.
9 25-minute episodes is just not the way to be doing that, though. I don't think. I get the general idea. I just don't like the execution.
I remember being so gutted when they stopped the 24 episode arcs.
I'm glad,
but I get it.
I'm glad now. I can't be asked for 24
I don't know
episodes.
if I'm glad.
I am. 10 episodes is enough.
I think it depends on what it is.
10 episodes is enough. Because think about it.
I mean, Grey's Anatomy still does 20-odd episodes a series.
Yeah, but a lot of those series, like if you think back, think back to Buffy, or you think back to Smallville, you would get, like we've just said, you'd get 24 episodes in a series.
Yeah.
The first 12 would do nothing for the overarching story. The next 6 would start leaning into it a bit, and then the last 6 would all be about the big story for the series.
Yeah.
But a lot of those middle episodes felt like filler and didn't really do anything to progress the story, but it was like, we've got to make 24 episodes because that's how many
episode.
Yeah, well, that was just amazing. But some of those filler episodes were brilliant, like Hush with the Gentleman.
Oh,
that
was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Just absolutely amazing TV, but it was still a bit of a filler episode that didn't need to be made. But
same
again,
with the one where they forgot everything. Oh, I love that.
Sometimes you get absolute gems in those episodes, and you do.
Yeah.
But there's so much content at the moment. We talked about this earlier today. There's so much content going on.
Yeah.
You can't. I couldn't cope.
It's starting to become a bit of white noise.
I couldn't cope with 24 episodes. You'd give up. People are impatient now.
Yeah.
You'd give up after 4 episodes if nothing happened.
I think it's because I'm a binger.
Yeah.
And I can just sit and binge.
But you can't with this.
No.
You've got to wait a week for the next 20 minutes of She-Hulk. Sorry, for your next 30 seconds of story progression. That's what you're going to get in a week.
So, Movies for Real said, yeah, this episode is shit, haha.
You better give a reason, around your company.
There's a reason. Feels like events are just happening really all over the place. Have some structure. If it wasn't for Daredevil, I would be out of this series, and they obviously know that. How do you tease Daredevil? Then don't show him in the next episode, lol. So obvious, why?
Completely agree.
Yeah, I get it.
It is what it is, but you're marketing it as something else.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest problems I've got and a lot of people have got.
Yeah. I get it. Rachel Miller said, I love the way this ticks along with a different side story each week. They're teasing it out slowly with the longer series, which may not suit some, but I love the anticipation. Also, Nikki looks at the camera at the end when they look at the website. Surely not a mistake.
Ooh, yeah, I saw that.
There's an image of it.
Picture. Does she? Can she break the fourth wall as well?
Holy shit, is Nikki the bad?
Right, can I just say, okay, right. He's not sent us a message, but Davey AK, one of our listeners, I saw he replied to that message from Rachel, and he said, have you noticed that she's got a pentagram necklace on? Mephisto confirmed. What if Nikki's the bad? What if it's Mephisto?
What if Nikki was Agatha all along?
Holy shit.
Pentagram, witchery.
Do you know what? If they pull something off like this, and it's just like, this is so much bigger and scarier and serious than you've thought.
Can I just say, right?
That'd be so good.
If something happened like that.
I mean, that's not going to happen.
And Nikki kind of reveals herself as something else like Mephisto, and then Jen just gets fucking kidnapped.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the series.
We've just built ourselves up to something that's not going to be.
Honestly, I'd be on my knees bowing down to every writer there, because that'd be an amazing ending.
I think it's a really, really big risk, though, because you've pushed this a little bit too far now.
Yeah.
Episode 6 to give a really, really subtle little thing like that is too far, which is why I think it's not going to happen. I'd love it too, though.
I'd love it too. We've then got Christian Bernard Gauchi. I love how the series is basically Marvel's attempt to do a show like Fleabag, which is one of my favourite shows. Also, I'm becoming more and more convinced that the leader is the main villain of the piece.
Yeah, I'm starting to get with that as well. Yeah,
what if Nikki is the leader?
No, she can't be.
What's the leader?
Tim Blake Nelson, Samuel Stearns.
Oh, I didn't know that was his name, the leader.
Yeah. Samuel Stearns, yeah. He's the leader. The dude with the big head.
Yeah. I didn't know. I just didn't realise that was his name.
That is him. Is that us? Is that all the messages?
That's everybody, yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks for getting involved, everybody. Before we do the wrap-up, let's do patron shout-outs. Thanks to Geekinate, Kenneth, Night Spearhead, Richard, Jessica, Avid Gamer, and Sheldon for supporting the show. Patrons get exclusive access to our bonus podcast, Into the Podverse, with new episodes every month. This month, because you voted for it, we did a review of Fant 4-Stick from 2015. We spoil this every time. We didn't enjoy it. It wasn't good. We had a lot to say about it, though. We took a real deep dive into it, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Not even just the film, what it could have been.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth a listen. If you want to check that out, you can hit the link in the description for our Patreon. You get access to the episodes, you get access to the Discord server, and you get access to merch discounts as well. You get all that for £4 a month. The Discord server, as we said, will be open to everybody on the 30th of September, but you will still get access to an exclusive Patreon section of it. If you want to support us, as we said, you can go to the link in the description underneath, or you can go to patreon.com/thatsuperhero thing. Otherwise, thanks for listening. Don't forget to come back next week for our review of Andor episode 4 and She-Hulk episode 7, when Daredevil probably won't, pop up, plus all the latest comic movie news. If you don't already, make sure to check out our socials at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest updates on the show and calls to actions for next week's Podfans Assemble. If you enjoyed the show as well, as we said, please make sure to follow us on your favourite podcast platform and leave us a rating or review on Apple or Spotify. Helps us out massively. The more subscribers and the more 5-star reviews we get, the higher we go up the charts and the more people can find the show. Other than that, though, I think that's us.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home. You're going to watch Below Deck, because that's what you watch.
Obsessed.
I'm going to carry on watching The Crown.
Okay.
I'm still confused, though. It's too hard. It's too similar to Game of Thrones. Do you know what specifically? Because Matt Smith's in both, and it confuses me. Every time someone pisses off Prince Philip, I'm waiting for him to chop the head off and shag his sister or something. It's just too confusing.
I'm gonna cut off your head and shit down your neck.
It's just I can't tell the difference between the two shows. Other than that, though, guys, thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.